Welcome to the most listened to golf in the world, the Fairways of Life show, on air, online, and around the world, with the most candid interviews, unforgettable stories, taking you beyond the ropes. Here's your host, New York Times best-selling author, Matt Adams.
As we welcome you into the Fairways of Life show, I am Matt Adams, and I'm absolutely delighted to welcome you this week to hear Dooks, this quintessential links golf course in the southwest of Ireland. It is only step one of our tour through southwest Ireland. We took fans of the Fairways of Life show with us for the next couple of weeks to just take in the splendor, the wonder that is links golf in this part of the world. I think the reason why links golf here is so different, and frankly why I believe that the links golf in Ireland is better than links golf anywhere in the world, is simply because of this. Ireland is unprotected from the ravages of the Atlantic Ocean. So as a result, it creates these stunning dunes, whether it's plummeting valleys or whether it's the high peaks of the dunes, around which, over which, and through which you have to play your golf on a links golf course. And this Dooks golf course is quintessential in that. So it is only step one. But we start step one today with taking a look back at what took place in the world of golf over the last few days. And there was some important golf that was being played. The signature event at the Travelers Championship, a major championship at the kpmg Women's PGA Championship. So we start with today's show with the words of those that were able to accomplish the extraordinary and break through with their victories accordingly in these events, and those that came close.
Yeah, it was a great finish. This golf course produces a lot of those, you know, the exciting stuff coming down the stretch, and so it was nice to be out there competing. It's great competing against one of my good buddies and Tom Kim, but it's also very difficult at the same time. You know, I want what's best for him, and so sometimes it can be hard. And I think for both of us, you know, battling against each other out there, but it was a lot of fun, and you know, proud to be sitting here with the trophy. Yeah, I mean, a little bit, but as far as, you know, going week to week in the season, there's not really much time to kind of sit around and reflect. You know, I was able to win the Memorial, but couldn't really celebrate for too long because we had the U.S. Open the next week. And so in terms of playing through the season, I try not to look too far into the past or look too far into the future. And, you know, it's been very fortunate to come away with some wins this year, and it's been fun and a lot of hard work paying off. And so I'm very grateful to have some trophies to kind of show for it. Yeah, we had fun out there today. You know, like I said, it's fun competing against your friends, but at the same time, it's difficult. You know, because part of me wants him to miss the putt, and part of me wants him to make the putt. And then, you know, when I see him, you know, make bogey in the playoff hole, you know, it hurts because that's my friend, and that's not it's not a great feeling. But you know, he should remember that putt he made on 18 because it was pretty special, and he's a great player and a great champion. He's got a habit of making those putts when it really matters. You know, I think of a guy that young already winning 3 times out here and being the way that he is in the President's Cup. And he's got the right attitude to play out here for a long time. And he's only 22, which is just nuts. Yeah, it was definitely a bit weird. You know, I saw one person out of the corner of my eye, and then I saw about 5 police officers sprinting around. And from my point of view, they got it taken care of pretty dang fast. And so we were very grateful for that. It seemed to go by really quickly to us, but you know, when something like that happens, you don't really know what's happening, so it can kind of rattle you a little bit just because there's people running around the green and there's police officers running around the green, and you don't know if they're peaceful. You don't know what they're doing. You have no idea what's going on, and so it can be a bit stressful. But fortunately, I was out there, and you could kind of see me and Akshay talking to each other for a minute, me and Tom talking to each other for a minute, just basically trying to calm down. You know, that can be a stressful situation, and you would hate for the tournament to end on something weird happening because of a situation like that, and so I felt like Tom and I both tried to calm each other down so we could, you know, give it our best shot there on 18. Not really. I've talked to a good amount about it. I don't really define myself by my wins or by my losses, and so I do my best to compete and have the right attitude. And you know, going into the Open Championship, I don't need to feel any sort of validation or anything like that. It's been a tremendous year, and I'm grateful to have some wins, and I'm looking forward to going out and competing and playing in the Open Championship, playing in the Olympics, and then playing the playoffs as well. Yeah, I'm playing the Open, the Olympics, and then the last 3 playoff events. And then I think I should be on the President's Cup team. And after that, I'll take a break.
Yeah, I fought hard. You know, it takes really just small things to win out here. And, you know, my 2 bogeys this week came from 2 3-putts. And, you know, that last hole in the playoff where, you know, in regulation I had the same kind of shot where I just needed to smash a wedge when the wind was up. And the difference between regulation and the playoff was as soon as I hit it, the wind died, and it was a slight miss hit, and unfortunately, plug ball, and when that happens, it's just you can't do anything about it. And but other than I'm gonna definitely look at this week as a positive. It's my best finish of the year, despite almost coming through. Having the lead last night. I just against the best players in the world. I fought really hard, and going to next week, that's my 9th week, is make sure I pick up my feet. I had so much fun out there. It felt like a practice round with him. I play a lot of golf with him at home, and even out here we play a lot of practice rounds. And we were just. I told him as soon as we hit the tee shot in the playoff, it's just it feels like the two. It's very rare for us, just the two of us, to go out and play. But at the same time, it's just like it's almost like, hey, we're just at home, but we just have 100,000 people on the golf course. But it's been big. He's a really good friend. I've learned a lot from him, obviously, but not just by watching, by asking him a lot of things. And he's been so kind just to be able to share some stuff. And I'm really happy for him. I know it's his 6th win of the season, and it hasn't happened since Tiger. As much as I love him, I would have loved to, take that away from him. But I'm happy for him, and as soon as after he tapped out, he said some really nice words, and it meant a lot to me. I knew I needed to make birdie, but 18 is a really interesting hole, because if you miss the fairway, the hole just becomes really hard. And that right bunker that they placed by the green, it's very penalizing, as you've seen in the playoff, like my ball being plugged. And I was, with the wind being so up, I wanted to hit 3-wood, and me and Paul were talking. I have to make birdie. I have to give myself a chance, and I hit a really good tee shot. And with all that going on, it almost kind of, for me, I didn't mind it at all. Like, obviously it is a disruption, and you don't want it to happen. But for me, it was just kind of slowed things down, and I just took my time, and I felt really confident in myself. Just to give myself that putt to force a playoff. It's what I practiced for, and I'm glad I made it. Yeah, it was. It was a lot to go with. Who prepares for 4 people to run with? I don't know what they had, but They left a lot of marks on the greens, which is, not right for us players, especially when 2 guys are trying to win a golf tournament. But I'm very grateful for the tour and the tour security for handling that really well, and making us players feel, a lot safer. There's, with him and I, for me, I've gotten to like Scotty more as a person than a golfer. So I think that's really big because there's a lot of friends out here that you kind of just meet for golf, not really outside. And he's one of the few people that, that we're at home, we still hang out and still play a lot of golf together. And I think it made it a lot more fun for me, to be honest, like more enjoyable to come down. Obviously he's a phenomenal player. Number one, all these titles, and but at the same time, for me, it's just he's just Scotty Scheffler. He's just a good friend, and to come down with someone that I play a lot of golf with, who beats me a lot at home, and unfortunately he beat me in the playoff too. But it definitely made it a lot more enjoyable out there.
It's incredible. I was so nervous beginning of the day, even night before, and I told Jan, on the 18th fairway, this have been the longest 18 holes I ever played in my career. I was that much stressed and felt pressure out there, but I think I managed to stay well and stay positive. And of course, with him as well, he make things light out there. At one point, I thought, will I ever win a major championship before I retire? And I finally did it, and it's just amazing. Really, even today, it's just that self-talk kept coming up, and it wasn't easy out there. And but I've learned this so many times. It's just what focus on what I can control on the golf course out there and just keep doing what I've been doing. I told myself maybe more than 1,000 times out there that just do what you prepared and what you've been doing at the practice days. And it's good. You know, I thought of this out there on the golf course today, that this golf is really just a fight against myself. And I think I proved myself that I can compete and I can do this. Yeah, so it was a good learning week. I'm trying to process right now, but it's amazing. Yeah, I see Sari's name right there, like 1998. Yeah, I've always dreamed it. Yeah, and just so honored to have it. Thank you.
Okay, so it wasn't easy to get it done, but you did.
Well, you'd be foolish to go into a Sunday thinking it's going to be easy, so you prepare yourself for difficulty. As I said, I wasn't 100% on form earlier in the week, so I knew I'd hit a few stray shots. It was the main thing was obviously hit a few good ones, make a few putts. I did actually putt well the best of the week. I hold a good few putts, hold a good few short ones. So, to be honest, when do I ever not make it hard? You know, missing the green at 17 was a bit of a, but I always have a bit of drama. There's always value for money in me.
One of the things that you talked about the Black Bar a minute ago was how special events like this are. The communities here, they really do appreciate.
This is what the Champions Tour does really well. We go to venues that maybe old PGA Tour stops there, and we go there. They love their golf. They appreciate that we come. They come out and support. They have a great sponsor. So it really, and it gives us the opportunity to relive our past glories. You know, and we feel pressure out here. You know, we're nobody's. You know, you think after whatever 30 years of playing that you're immune to it. No, there's plenty of pressure, plenty of stress, and it's fun to be out here, all because of these great sponsors and great venues. When you know, Broome County here, the fans all came out, and you can see they've got all the grandstands up. It's a big deal here.
3 in a row. What does that mean to you?
Yeah, it's unusual. I'm chuffed to come back 3 in a row. I'm delighted that they have another fight for me to come back for the next number of years. I don't know if I could do 8 in a row, but hopefully I might get another one in those years. Look, I like the golf course, I like the venue, I like the place. My family comes along, we all seem to enjoy it, so you know that helps when you come to a tournament. You know, when a course suits you and everybody's enjoying themselves, it kind of rubs off on you during the week. And there's no doubt that I see this course suits my eye. I certainly make I know how to get around it. I certainly know some of the shots on the course. I know when to attack it and when not. You know, maybe the 4 par 5s and the driving for par 4 also helps, but it's great. Okay, we start getting out there like it.
It is an absolute delight to welcome you here to Southwest Ireland. We're at Dooks today, which I used to call a hidden gem, but many people now know the wonder of this place. I mean, look around. It is so incredible. Everywhere you look, it is an absolutely beautiful scenery, and we'll continue to show the scenery not only here of Dooks, but of the great links golf courses in this part of Ireland. We're going to share the experience with you for the next couple of weeks of shows. Links golf, of course, is a golf that is in and of itself unique. Many of you are familiar with watching the Open, for example, which is coming up just a couple of weeks down the road, where you're going to see players playing shots that pretty much are not played anyplace else in the world other than on land like this. Links golf is, by its very nature, land that was once covered by the sea. So it is a sand-based golf course, sometimes dozens of feet deep of sand. So as a result, Mother Nature creates all of this, all of these dunes that define the playing of this golf course. Dooks is a very unique one. As I mentioned, it used to be what we'd call a hidden gem because there are so many superstars of links golf that exist in this part of Ireland. But as more and more people have discovered Dooks, they've realized what a unique golf course this is in and of itself, because as you can see, there are so many holes here, while not overwhelming in length, require really intricate and careful decisions as to how you want to play them strategically and what shots you want to use coming into the green. You can see a lot of the greens that feature almost a look of a Redan. You want to play it on the ground more often than not, but then it's subject to these winds coming from all different directions. Now, you're looking at video right now that shows you the mountains that surround this area. So the wind can be coming from any one of these directions. It's not only the predominant wind coming off the ocean, which is to my right. So depending on what direction that wind is coming, depending on what's going on with the weather, whether it's sunny, whether it is rainy, there are a lot of different options that are going to influence what type of shot you must hit in order to have a scoring opportunity here at Dooks. And what's great about Dooks is that it's a great hang as well. The clubhouse is very welcoming. Of course, they have the great Guinness on flow and anything else that you could imagine. And the food is very, very good. In particular, I love their seafood chowder. I think it's probably the best seafood chowder in all of Southwest Ireland. So we are absolutely psyched about sharing this experience with you, and this is only step one of our Lynx Golf experience, with much more that is coming up. Now, we couldn't do what we're doing, bucket list destinations and bringing fans like you along with us, if it weren't for people like the PGA Tour Superstore. They are the presenting sponsor of the Fairways of Life show. They're the #1 golf retailer in all of the land. If you need it for your game, maybe you're getting ready for your own bucket list trip to come to a place as special as this, go to the PGA Tour Superstore, because when you do, you'll find it inside of their walls, whether you swing it, whether you wear it, whether you need to learn from it, and you know that you are dealing with professionals, those vested in the best interests in your game. The PGA Tour Superstore, your happy place.
Every January, PGA Tour Superstore pros meet every manufacturer, learn about the latest equipment, log thousands of hours of training, and together hit over 100,000 balls. All so they can get you the perfect fit.
In Ireland, golf is more than just a game. Come and experience our world-famous links courses and our world-famous Parkland courses, all set alongside world-famous scenery. And visit our world-famous historic sites. And while you're here, enjoy our world-famous hospitality. Fill your heart with Ireland at ireland.com/golf.
Ben Hogan Golf Equipment is back. Established in 1953, we serve golfers who demand excellence of their equipment. Designed by the game's best engineers, forged in the world's best foundries, and built to order in the USA. Don't settle for off-the-rack disappointment. Elevate your game with custom clubs at direct-to-consumer pricing. Exclusively at benhogangolf.com. That's benhogangolf.com.
The Gen 6 iron is a culmination of everything that we have learned as a team, the absolute best golf club I've ever hit. It's something special. Say hello to the new PXG Gen 6 iron. The longest, most accurate irons we've ever made. They go higher and farther than any iron that I have hit to date, and they're so easy to hit. Super excited for the consumer to try this. They're gonna love them.
PXG, nobody makes golf clubs the way we do, period.
Baseball? Nah. Football? Done it. I think I'm gonna go after PGA Tour.
Playing on the PGA Tour is not easy. But you know what is easy? Hitting the 524 series from Tour Edge.
Hitting linebackers and home runs used to be easy.
Out here, you're gonna need all the easy you can get. Introducing the 524 series from Tour Edge. The easiest clubs you'll ever hit. Even the best players in the world can use a little easy.
I like the sound of that. Look out, PGA Tour.
Pound for pound, nothing comes close.
Boyne Golf provides the ultimate world-class golf destination with 10 championship-caliber courses spanning 3 resorts. Centered in Michigan's northern Lower Peninsula, the courses are the products of some of the game's masters, including Robert Trent Jones Sr., Arthur Hills, and Donald Ross. From the all-inclusive vacation packages, elite instruction with the Boyne Golf Academy, tournaments, and so much more, Boyne Golf truly offers an unrivaled Michigan golf vacation experience. Just log on to BoyneGolf.com. As we welcome you on our tour through Southwest Ireland, Kerry Coaches is our chariot that's taking us through these beautiful and winding roads defined by sea and mountain. And where seas and mountains and islands and promontories meet is where we're destined today. We're on our way to the old head of Kinsale. Now, there are various heads. These are promontories of land that stick out into the Atlantic Ocean, and one that is very distinctive, of course, is that which hosts the golf course we'll be playing today. Some 2 miles out into the Atlantic, in fact. There's been some 80 shipwrecks, as you can imagine, over the course of time in and around this land, and rightfully so. We'll explain about that. One of those shipwrecks was of great distinction, of course, and had very much to do with the launch of the First World War, at least from the American perspective, but I'll save that story for just a little while. First, Edna, McGuire, who is the director of golf at the Old Head, kind of took us through what the golf course is like, what your philosophy should be when you're playing it. If it's anything other than joy, I don't know how it could be, but also taking us through some strategy on the course as well. So we found a spot here next to the 13th tee. Edna McGuire is joining us. He's the director of golf here at the Old Head. If we weren't sitting here amidst this splendor and wonder, how would you describe where we are to the world?
I mean, it's just it's a beautiful place. I always say, even if there wasn't a golf course here, it's just a spectacular place to be. And for a golf enthusiast to have a course on top of it, it's probably the most dramatic golf course that I've played in the world, scenery-wise. Obviously, today we have it on a beautiful day, but yeah, it's a special place.
You live it every day, but when you see people come in and they react to everything that's here, and I'm not just talking about the golf course, the scenery that you were referring to, but also the history. What is it like to watch that reaction from people? How would you describe it?
I think it's really fun. It's brilliant to work in an environment where everybody coming through the doors has got a big smile on their face. I suppose they're breathtaking by the scenery, and it's a great environment to be. A lot of people are in here having a really good time, so it's definitely a fun place to work.
How much are people asking of you and your staff? What type of game do I need to play here? How much is this like a traditional links golf course? How would you describe that?
Yeah, you get asked for the nuggets of advice. Usually my go-to is keep it above sea level, but definitely the course, when it dries out, can play very bouncy. You can get a lot of run on the ball like a traditional links course. Even though we are elevated up, it's not as sand-based as a traditional links maybe, but it can play hard and fast, but the greens are quite receptive and fast as well. I suppose the wind would be the only issue if we had to slow the greens down for high winds, which you can get exposed to here a little bit.
I imagine it can. Yeah. We're just outside the village of Kinsale as well. What's the entire experience like when you have a golfing experience unlike any other in the world out here, and then you have the village of Kinsale that is so warm and welcoming?
Yeah, I mean, I'm fortunate enough to live in Kinsale, and I love it. It's a great village. It's quite small. There's about a kilometre radius and you'll be anywhere in the village. It has a reputation as the culinary capital of Ireland, so there's a lot of really good restaurants in there, a lot of really good pubs, and if you like food and good food and a bit of crack, as we'd say in Ireland, it's a great place to be. It's a lot of fun. There's a good atmosphere, and it's interesting because you see a lot of the golfers staying in Kinsale coming out here, and they meet each other, and they get talking and have a fun time.
Awesome. That Irish word crack that he used means fun, and that's exactly what we expect to be having today. Maybe when we get done, you'll have a pint of Guinness with us.
You couldn't rule that out.
Thanks for the hospitality.
Not at all. Pleasure. So we're here on the black tee on hole 18 at Old Head, and as you can see, quite the dramatic finishing tee shot. Below us, you can see some steps that are cut into the rock. Legend has it, many centuries ago, when boats were coming into the village of Kinsale, they'd unload some of their cargo here if they didn't want to pay the taxes, and they'd come out and collect some of their cargo afterwards. Apparently it could have been used for the Spanish Armada as well. So pretty cool feature of the course, and obviously a nice closing tee shot to finish with. So we're out here on hole number 12, probably the signature hole of the course, certainly the one that grabs the attention the most of golfers. We're about 300 foot above sea level here, and as you can see, it's quite the dramatic par 5. The stone is the line to hit it out onto the fairway with the first shot, and obviously so much at Old Head depends on the weather conditions and the wind, but generally it's a good 3-shot hole. You want to be very brave to take that green on in 2. It's quite narrow. The green is up, as you can see, just over the cliff edge there, and it's about 300 foot above sea level, so anything left is just lost ball and gone. Really testing par 5, and obviously it's on the west side of the headland, and the prevailing wind is a southwesterly, so usually the wind's coming over your left shoulder just to add a little confusion to your swing, but great golf hole.
All right, so one of the things that's so cool about being here at the Old Head is that you're surrounded by history all the time. In the security wall, as you arrive at the Old Head, there is this. This is the ruins of the castle that once stood here. This goes back many, many centuries. But what lies in store answers some of the questions about just how much history is in these stones. Come on in here and take a look with me. So and once you walk inside, what I recommend people to do is take out your phone, turn on your light, and shine it right up here, 1180. That's the year that the Normans came to Ireland, and it's etched right in the stone. And I doubt many people anywhere ever see that. Spectacular, isn't it? And everything here at the Old Head is absolutely spectacular and historic, very much like what is behind me here. This is the remnants of an old lighthouse. This alone goes back centuries, but there has been something here in the form of a navigational beacon since estimates are 1000 BC. Now, there were monks that used to keep the lighthouse back in the day, and they would burn a fire atop it. And it went so high that when you're subject to the fog that can roll in on the peninsula of property, such as they have here at Kinsale, it actually was too high. It would be obscured by the clouds. So the new lighthouse is just down the hill. The new lighthouse dates from the middle 1800s. But I want to show you something of their dwelling. Come on over here with me for just a second. Part of what makes this so spectacular is when you get to see these ruins like this up close. To me, they're literally a time portal. You're going back centuries as we enter through this doorway. And aside from seeing how formidable these dwellings are, you can see over here to the right, that's where they would cook their food. But inside of this room, it is believed that this is where they used to sleep. And what really moves me about this space is that as you look out on this window here, not only can you see that the walls are about 4 feet deep of stone, but this is the same window that centuries ago a monk looked out on a lonely sea instead of watching golfers getting ready to enjoy their day. The Vikings controlled Old Head from 100 to 918 AD, and then the Normans took over, and they're thought to have come to this slice of Irish heaven around 1180. The Old Head Golf Links was built on a 220-acre diamond of land that juts just over 2 miles into the Atlantic Ocean. This promontory is almost an island with numerous caves that run beneath your feet as you play the golf course. The links in the practice area occupy 180 acres, and the remaining 40 acres of unspoiled cliff frame the course. It's a piece of golf real estate like no other. And that causes many a golfer and visitor to pinch themselves, really, as you drive in through the ancient gateway with the crashing waves of the Atlantic Ocean some 300 feet below on both sides. It doesn't end as you take the drive up the long driveway to reveal the wonders of the golf course that lie in store. Old Head is a par 72. It comprises 5 par 5s, 5 par 3s, and 8 par 4s. It stretches from the ladies' tees of 5,400 yards to just over 7,100 yards from the tips, with a minimum of 6 tees per hole, making it suitable for golfers of all handicap abilities. 9 holes play along the cliff tops, and all 18 holes provide an unsurpassed ocean view. With the ever-changing sea breezes, the course provides, a stern test, but it's a fair test to touring pro and the high handicapper alike. The course is set up on a daily basis depending on the prevailing wind conditions. Facilities include a warm-up range, putting green, a short game area, and from the incredible clubhouse, Old Head has a team of exceptional and friendly service staff to cater for all golfers and residents, whatever your needs are. With superbly furnished and attended surroundings, they have an oak-lined locker room, for example, complete with spa showers. The attention to detail is as exemplary, really, as the welcome is so warm. In terms of more recent history, I realize that's a relative term. There was a very significant incident that took place just off these shores. The Lusitania was a British ocean liner. It was actually launched by the Cunard Line. That was the same line that launched, of course, the fateful Titanic. But this one was launched in 1906, some 6 years before the sinking of the Titanic. At the time, she was the world's largest passenger ship, until 3 months later when they created an even larger one, because these transatlantic trips at the time were so important and so popular. Well, on the 7th of May, 1915, a German U-boat lay in wait off the harbor here at the Old Head and fired a torpedo that hit the starboard side of the Lusitania. It hit with such force that it blew a huge hole in the side of the ship. The ship immediately listed onto that starboard side, and it sunk, accounts saying that it was within 20 minutes. 1,197 passengers and crew were killed that day, sunk to the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean. Sadly, the dead, the debris, all came ashore right here at the Old Head. Though it should be noted, thanks to the heroism of local Irish citizens, so many responded, taking their own private boats out to where the Lusitania was hit, that almost 800 people from that ship were saved that day. The outrage that this caused, particularly in the United States, is said to have been a forerunner to the decision of the USA to get involved in World War I.
Every January, PGA Tour Superstore pros meet every manufacturer, learn about the latest equipment, log thousands of hours of training, and together hit over 100,000 balls. All so they can get you the perfect fit.
In Ireland, golf is more than just a game. Come and experience our world-famous links courses and our world-famous parkland courses, all set alongside world-famous scenery. And visit our world-famous historic sites. And while you're here, enjoy our world-famous hospitality. Fill your heart with Ireland at ireland.com/golf.
Ben Hogan Golf Equipment is back. Established in 1953, we serve golfers who demand excellence of their equipment. Designed by the game's best engineers, forged in the world's best foundries, and built to order in the USA. Don't settle for off-the-rack disappointment. Elevate your game with custom clubs at direct-to-consumer pricing. Exclusively at benhogangolf.com. That's benhogangolf.com.
The Gen 6 iron is a culmination of everything that we have learned as a team, the absolute best golf club I've ever hit. It's something special. Say hello to the new PXG Gen 6 iron. The longest, most accurate irons we've ever made. They go higher and farther than any iron that I have hit to date, and they're so easy to hit. Super excited for the consumer to try this. They're gonna love them.
PXG, nobody makes golf clubs the way we do, period.
Baseball? Nah. Football? Done it. I think I'm gonna go after PGA Tour.
Playing on the PGA Tour is not easy. But you know what is easy? Hitting the 524 series from Tour Edge.
Hitting linebackers and home runs used to be easy.
Out here, you're gonna need all the easy you can get. Introducing the 524 series from Tour Edge. The easiest clubs you'll ever hit. Even the best players in the world can use a little easy.
I like the sound of that. Look out, PGA Tour. Pound for pound, nothing comes close.
Boyne Golf provides the ultimate world-class golf destination with 10 championship-caliber courses spanning 3 resorts. Centered in Michigan's northern Lower Peninsula, the courses are the products of some of the game's masters, including Robert Trent Jones Sr., Arthur Hills, and Donald Ross. From the all-inclusive vacation packages, elite instruction with the Boyne Golf Academy, tournaments, and so much more, Boyne Golf truly offers an unrivaled Michigan golf vacation experience. Just log on to BoyneGolf.com.
Stride by Zero Friction, the first of its kind personal caddy. Walk in comfort and style with Stride's remote and follow me technology. The Stride handles almost any terrain, and its 54-hole range will last all day. The lightweight design and removable front wheels makes it simple to handle. Plus, it easily fits golf carts. Order yours and save. Visit zerofriction.com/stride or scan the QR code to order yours today. Stride, your personal caddy.
It is an absolute delight to welcome you into the Waterville Golf Links. This part of Ireland is defined by the Ring of Kerry. Of course, this is where the original transatlantic cable came in that connected Europe to the United States back in the day. Everywhere we go in Ireland, you're surrounded by very significant history. Those behind me are hoping to make some history of their own today. This is some of our crew warming up for their round of golf at Waterville, which undoubtedly will be a proper links golf experience. Now, this golf course isn't the oldest when it comes to links golf courses. This one dates back about 70 years ago, but it is such a significant links golf course that some of the best players in the world practiced here to get acclimated to the environment and to links golf before they went on to win the Open. I'm talking about people of the likes of, say, Mark O'Meara, or maybe you've heard of Tiger Woods. We're also going to talk about the hosts that brought them here to begin with. Payne Stewart coming up in just a little bit. There's a lot to go through with you, and we're very much looking forward to featuring it all right now from Waterville. Perfectly windy here at Waterville as we start our tour. Michael Murphy is with us, the GM here at Waterville. Michael, first of all, thank you for the hospitality. I mean, from a links perspective, this day looks perfect.
Well, you know, it's coastal. You get a bit of everything. All seasons in one day. It's a bit overcast this morning, but it's due to stay dry. If you look to the south of us there, it looks like the sun is breaking through over the mountains, so hopefully you'll get to see the Waterville in glorious sunshine by the afternoon.
Regardless, there's always the hope. Could you explain to us what Waterville is? How would you describe it to someone if they didn't know?
Unique. It's called Waterville. People have different reasons or theories behind why it's called Waterville. But, you know, Waterville's very unique in Ireland in that it's on the ocean, but it's also got a lake right in the middle of it. You know, connected by a short river that runs past Waterville House. So in French terms, it's the town of water. So, and we get a lot of water from the sky too as well, so there's water everywhere.
Now, when Mr. Hackett designed this one, it was one of Eddie's last designs, obviously deeply passionate to the architect and to those of you that created it. Can you speak to the philosophy of the golf course and how it compares in general to links golf, and in particular to links golf in the southwest of Ireland?
Well, you know, we're very lucky in the southwest of Ireland, some of the best golf courses in the whole world. But yet, there's very few similarities between them all. One of the strengths, I suppose, Waterville has is a links golf course. There's no blind shots per se, and everything is out in front of you. You're always going forward, you're never going backwards. When Mr. Mulcahy designed the golf course, he was ahead of his time in some respect, in that he wanted to build one of the longest golf courses in the world. I think a lot of that had to do with our professional. Liam Higgins was one of the longest hitters in the world. So it kind of evolved from that. And when the golf course opened in the early 70s, it was 7,184 yards long, which was very long for its time. Now it's starting to get short. But even still, we've added on a couple hundred yards since. But it can still hold up to the best of them. I know these young guys, some of these guys bomb it a long, long way now. But still, you have a wind like today, you know, the holes into the wind are going to be as tough as they'd be 50 years ago.
There's no doubt, and it feels like a predominant wind that we'll be enjoying with our group today. Little doubt about that. To your point of the length of the golf course. Obviously, I call it a modern links, even though it's 56 years old. It's because of the relative terms of the age of other links courses in the area. Because it is a modern links, shaped the way it is around these gorgeous dunes that the sea has shaped, you've had the best players in the world over here to hone their game before they've gone on to win major championships.
Yeah, I think there's a few things with Waterville. You know, obviously the length of the golf course, our fescue greens, which most of the British Open course dominant fescue greens as well. The privacy, really. You know, we run a kind of, you know, keep our secrets to ourselves, you know, so nobody's really bothering. Not saying they bother in other places, but, you know, we have the guys come stay here and they stay at Waterville House or stay at Hogs Head, and, you know, they're left to their own devices. You know, so yeah, I think that's one of the things. But they can decompress and bring families. You know, that's what has happened over the years. You know, and just relax before they hit the grind of the Open Championship.
And when they're all done with the grind of the day, as it were, they get to come into your beautiful clubhouse, recently renovated, whether it's a cup of seafood chowder or something else to eat, or at least a pint of Guinness or whiskey. What a great place to unwind that is.
Yeah, well, you know, the clubhouse was always kind of a unique building too, in the way it's set into the landscape. But it was a 1970s clubhouse, and as golf has evolved, and thankfully more people started coming, the clubhouse became not really fit for purpose from its capacity size, but we didn't want to take away the unique character of it. So what we did is we basically expanded the building around the outside of the existing building and just made everything bigger, and further improved the vistas and added some balconies and things like that, and added a view back to the village. So what we want people to feel is that when they come off the golf course, they're still immersed in the golf course through the setting. You know, especially obviously we're standing here in 18, the balcony is only 20 feet away from us. You know, it's a lot easier for guys to reminisce over there around the golf. And the thing about the clubhouse in Waterville, when you're out on the course you don't really see it, but ironically from here the only hole you can't see is the hole you're going to play later, or the mass hole is the only hole you can't see a portion of it. You can see one portion of all 8 or 17 holes from the clubhouse.
Absolutely brilliant. That hole and others will be that which we will discuss as we continue here. But to continue with Michael, I just wanted to say thank you, sir. It's a delight to be back.
Thank you for coming, sir. Enjoy your day.
Cheers. It might surprise some people to come to Waterville and to see a statue dedicated to Payne Stewart. Well, the reason why is that Payne Stewart adopted Waterville as his Irish town. There's a pub inside of the Butler Arms Hotel in the village of Waterville. It's called the Fisherman's Pub. And there's a piano there to this day that Payne Stewart used to play. He would sing songs. Everybody from town would join in. And significantly, Payne Stewart would bring his friends over here to Waterville, of the likes, as I mentioned at the start, of Mark O'Meara in Tiger Woods. But they weren't the only ones that he brought over. David Duval, the list goes on and on. Many of those that he brought over here, and they'd come over before the Open, they'd get acclimated to the time, they'd get acclimated to links golf, they get acclimated to playing on fescue and fescue greens. Many of those went on to actually win the Open. So Waterville rightly looks at that and says, you know, we don't know how much of their victory at the Open was because of the experience that they had right here on these links, but some of it surely can be credited to this property and very much to this legend right here. So we're standing here at the par 3 12th. This hole measures 210 yards from the back of the tees to the green that's in front of us. But the significance of this hole is not only in its beautiful design. When Hackett designed this golf course, the original green was designed to be laid in the valley that's between this tee and the green that is behind me. The Irish laborers refused. They said that that ground down there was sacred. Well, the reason why is during the 18th century, when it was illegal, punishable by death, to celebrate Catholic Mass, the locals used to celebrate Mass in that valley at the bottom of these two dunes, the valley that lies between them. I'm talking about baptisms, marriages, and again, just a celebration of a regular Mass. But what they used to do is they would put their own sentries up on top of these dunes that surround us here, and if they could see the dust rising, they knew the only people that had horses were the British soldiers, so they could see the dust rise and they would disperse into these dunes and they would disappear. No harm, no foul. Ultimately, though, the priest was captured. He was put on a prison ship out in that bay, and he was beheaded. It's an incredible experience when you're here and playing an absolutely stunning, beautiful, challenging par 3, and then as you walk from tee to the green, you walk through a church. Take your hat off, because it is that significant.
I got ball fit in 2000, went on a little run. Then Bridgestone fit me again, and I went on another run. I just got fit again for the new Tour BX. The ball fitting's been helping me. Will it help you?
Boyne Golf provides the ultimate world-class golf destination with 10 championship-caliber courses spanning 3 resorts. Centered in Michigan's northern Lower Peninsula, the courses are the products of some of the game's masters, including Robert Trent Jones Sr., Arthur Hills, and Donald Ross. From the all-inclusive vacation packages, elite instruction with the Boyne Golf Academy, tournaments, and so much more, Boyne Golf truly offers an unrivaled Michigan golf vacation experience. Just log on to BoyneGolf.com.
I think when you're training for other sports, or why most people go to the gym is so that they can have muscles and be strong and be healthy. And a lot of the reason why they struggle to play golf is their body doesn't move properly for them to be able to hit a golf ball. And when you're training for golf, it's a little bit different because you're focused more on flexibility and mobility and being strong in motion. When you're able to kind of have a warm up and have a workout routine and kind of gradually build up to where you're training your body to move properly, yeah, you're going to get a lot of big dividends on the golf course.
Every January, PGA Tour Superstore pros meet every manufacturer, learn about the latest equipment, log thousands of hours of training, and together hit over 100,000 balls. All so they can get you the perfect fit.
What if we started a company and the company was under no time constraints, no financial constraints? The one constraint is their clubs had to be exceptional performers and much better than any other alternative. I was told time and again it'll never work. It worked like a house of fire. And I'll tell you what, I think our customers love it. BXG, nobody makes golf clubs the way we do, period.
Stride by Zero Friction, the first of its kind personal caddy. Walk in comfort and style with Stride's remote and follow me technology. The Stride handles almost any terrain, and its 54-hole range will last all day. The lightweight design and removable front wheels makes it simple to handle. Plus, it easily fits golf carts. Pick up your Stride today at a local PGA Tour Superstore near you or at zerofriction.com/Stride. Stride, your personal caddy.
So we've worked our way into Reedy's Pub here in Killarney, one of the many but classic pubs that exist in this town. The part of the pub that we're in is pretty classic too, because I would guess that this was part of a barn from an old farm, but it is at least a couple of centuries old. And we are sitting here with Gary Mann, who's part of this trip with us. Gary, you're from Ontario?
Ontario, Canada, yes.
Or Ontario, Canada. And this experience for Gary, both in Ireland at large and in links golf courses in Ireland in particular, is a new one. What have you made of it so far?
Well, the thing I find real interesting here is they take the lay of the land and they actually build the golf courses around the lay of the land, including the greens, the tee boxes. They may take the tee boxes, they may cut it level, but the natural lay of the land is really what's great about these golf courses.
If you had to describe, I know this is the hard one, so I'm going to give you a little bit of time as I intro the question. Sure. If I had to say to you in a word, could you describe the experience you've had so far in Ireland, what would that be?
Absolutely magnificent.
That's not a word, that's 2 words.
It is? Magnificent.
Oh, okay. Magnificent at that. Gary Mann joining us from Ontario and loving the first experience that he's had at Irish Links here in Southwest Ireland. All right, so settling in now is Brendan Keogh, who runs Swing Golf Ireland. Brendan, it's lovely to see you, even more so because you're bringing the important stuff with you. All right, so we talk about golf in Southwest Ireland and Swing Golf Ireland. Why don't we start with there, first of all. Tell us who Swing Golf Ireland is.
Swing Golf Ireland stands, believe it or not, for Southwest Ireland Golf. And you might ask what the N stands for. As the famous Paddy O'Looney said one time, nothing.
God bless Paddy O'Looney.
Swing Golf is a group of clubs that came together, the premier clubs here in the Southwest, Matt, 1987. So you had Lahinch, Ballybunion, Tralee, Waterville and Killarney initially. Now they've been joined by Dooks, Dingle, Dromoland, Cork Golf Club, associate members Adair, Old Head and Doonbeg. So we have a nice stable down this side of the country.
All right, so it's amazing when you heard Brendan talking about the courses in Southwest Ireland, many of which are in the top 100 in the entire world, and also, oh, by the way, Adair, which will be hosting the next Ryder Cup that will be taking place in Europe. When you look now across the breadth and width of courses that you represent with Swing, it's not only links golf courses, you represent a whole variety of different styles of golf.
Yes, Matt, it's links and parkland, and what we call it in our title is links and tradition, because a lot of the parkland courses are dating back well over 100 years as well. And correct, Adair Manor, it'll be very exciting. 2027, be magnificent Ryder Cup.
There's no doubt about that. Now, if someone is interested in the trip of a lifetime, I know we typically call it a bucket list trip to be able to play golf in Southwest Ireland at some of these incredible golf courses. What should they do? Where do they start? How do they get underway?
Well, again, most people these days, Matt, are online, searching, Google, etc. They're going to find a lot of good companies, and usually they come across our own name. And when they get in touch, the fact that we're based here, we're at it 38 years now, and we know the place inside out, good experienced staff, and we'll make sure people have the trip of a lifetime.
That is awesome. So you can customize itineraries, whether it's a family trip, maybe there's people in the itinerary that don't want to play golf at all, God forbid, but you can customize in any way, including custom coaches, so they don't have to worry about driving, and they can have a couple of these.
All of that, Matt, you can have your male golfers or your female golfers, and then you have a combination of couples, which works and goes down very, very well and keeps a lot of people happy. And everything is handled from day one. Chauffeur driven, qualified guides to take the non-golfers out while the golfers are out testing them skills on the links courses and the parkland courses, and can all be done from start to finish. Arrive in Shannon, Cork Airport, even Kerry Airport, and even into Dublin. We're only short ride from Dublin down to the southwest.
You know what's incredible about it, Brendan? I've known you for a very, very long time. In fairness, you're really in the business of joy.
Yes, I think as the famous Paddy O'Looney again said, he said, we're in the business of giving people experiences. And I think that sums it all up.
It does sum it all up. Paddy O'Looney was a dear friend of both of ours from back in the day that helped found Swing Golf Ireland. Many great experiences with Paddy, and those great experiences you can have with those that are the most important to you, coming to a place, as I already mentioned, with all bias aside, that I think is the best links golf any place in the world. Thank you for the hospitality, my friend.
Thank you, Matt, and welcome back, and we'll see you again next week.
I'm looking forward to that very, very much. And now I'm looking forward to sending you back out to the streets, where Dominic is trying to track down other members of our party to get their perspective on how and why Southwest Ireland is just so special.
Tell me what you think about links golf. I'm trying not to lead you, Jim.
Well, we finished our third round today, and I think finally we've all reached a level of comfort with what the courses are going to be. Difficult the first couple days trying to figure out what's going on, but I think now most of us have it figured out. You can't play high in the air here. You've got to hit the ball low, because if you hit it high in the air and land it in the middle of the green, it's going over.
What is different about links golf?
Well, I think number one, the architecture of the courses is different. It's built, they do a fantastic job of using the land to build the courses rather than kind of clearing what they need to build what they need. Shot shaping needs to be different. I mean, you're battling a lot more elements on a regular basis here than you would in at least in America. You have to fight wind, you have to keep the ball low, you have to shape the shots with the course. And then around the greens, it's, you have to kind of take your medicine as it comes. In America, you just go fairway green, that's the goal. Here, it's like fairway, get it somewhere near the green, and then do your best to try and get up and down and make par. So it's certainly a test, and it's a different test than what we have in America, but it's a lot of fun.
Paul, what is different about links golf?
Links golf
Now I know why the Europeans are so good in the Ryder Cup. They play in weather that Americans won't play in, and it is a great way to play golf. All the elements come into play, and it's a life experience that everybody should try once, because you'll never forget it.
What I love about the links golf, it's absolutely amazing. It's a course carved out of nature. Very simple, calming courses. It's an easy course to walk, so you can move from hole to hole, and the distances between the green to the tee are very manageable. But most importantly, if you look at a links course, you got to hit it straight. If you don't hit it straight, you're going to be in a lot of trouble. You can't get out of the fescue.
What would you say is different? What did you not expect coming here that you're like, oh my God?
Yeah, so the thing with links golf is you really have to keep your ego in check, right? I'm a big fan of taking driver off the tee, but in these type of courses and these type of conditions, you have to play it really smart, right? So there's a lot of holes I'm taking 5-iron off the tee, hybrid, just landing it in a safe spot, and then sort of assessing the situation from there.
What's the most difficult thing about links golf if you're comparing it to U.S. golf?
Wind. There's so much terrain change, too many conditions that you don't have at home.
What are you going to miss the most?
The people.
Good answer.
The people are so great here. It's unbelievable.
Thank you, John.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Awesome stuff, Tom. It's great to hear from the guys and hear what their experiences have been like so far. We're not done yet. We're going to be with you from here next week as well as we continue our tour through, I think, the greatest links golf courses in the world right here in Southwest Ireland. Until we are together again, be well and goodbye for now.